Steve Lennon have beaten the Netherlands.
Hello everybody, and you're very welcome to episode 2 of the Darts Lovers Unite podcast. Myself and Darren spluttered and splattered our way through the one last week, but we got through it, and we got about 43 views. So Darren, not too bad. Good start.
No.
We hit about a tenth of the group, which is tiny anyway. So listen, not a bad old start, I think.
No, we'll take that. There's definitely room for growth, as we say. So hopefully the second episode picks up a bit more.
Yeah, now you said it. We're actually recording this live as Whitlock and Labanauskas are locked at 2 sets all. So Darren might become a bit distracted as it goes on. Darren, we're nearly a week in. What do you think? How's it going?
Yeah, plenty of drama, as we'll highlight now in a while. Some absolutely amazing performances. Like I said, the MBG 108 average the other evening was absolutely savage. Kim Huybrechts coming in behind him with 101 and 104 in both of his games. And then, you have to look back at Steve Lennon's 96 was absolutely solid as well. So I think going forward, we're set for some really exciting matchups going forward, I think.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been a good start. It's something that you always tell yourself you're going to watch it all throughout the Christmas, and then you find yourself having to go get a bit of shopping or something, and suddenly you miss 2 games because they really are. They come at you. They're rapid fire. I missed a couple, and I missed a couple of banging games, but luckily enough you saw them. There were some really, really good performances, and there were some not so good performances. But I suppose we're going to start where we all want to hear about, which is discussion about the Irish lads and how they got on. So we're going to start where we left off last week, Darren. That was myself and yourself looking forward to Cian Barry against Jeff Smith. And it didn't go the way we wanted. It went the way... I'm trying to think of the predictions now. I'll probably stick them up on the screen after. I think I predicted 3-2 Barry and you predicted 3-2 Smith.
Yeah.
Jeff has that little bit more experience, so we'll go 3-2 Smith.
I think Smith's experience is going to be huge. Cian is going to come out light and fast. He has 12 months of experience under his belt now. He's 18 now. He's seen a lot. I'm going to go 3-2 Cian.
Right.
It's amazing. So technically, I suppose you get a half a point.
Yeah, I'll take it. But a good game overall. I think obviously Smith would be very happy to get the win. But I just think, I don't know. Like, look, overall, we've had this discussion a lot. Overall, I feel Cian Barry is still learning. I know I know I don't want to be repeating myself too much, but I know he had a great year on the development tour and everything else. But I just think with his age, I think he's definitely got a couple of years ahead of him to learn more.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the one thing about Cian is, I mean, a lot of people always say like you can see by him, he's a lot more mature than his years probably give him credit for. He has a lot of experience over the last couple of years. This is his second appearance on the world stage. I mean, that's big enough as well. But I had to keep reminding myself as well last Wednesday night. Myself and yourself were chatting about Darren in WhatsApp, and we were talking about it.
Yep.
I said that I thought Cian would be extremely disappointed. I thought the experience he would have got this year. Now I know it was the development and the challenge tour for the majority of it, but I thought playing consistently and playing at a really high level, and that year he had in the championships last year. I thought he would have backed himself, I don't know. I don't think Cian is going to put it down. I'm only young. I'll mark it off the experience. I don't think he is. I think he's going to be bitterly disappointed. And I thought he should have performed a bit better. He knows that himself. So
yeah, his doubles overall were absolutely brutal. I think he was down in around the 25 or the 26% on his doubles. Like his scoring was fine, but his doubles
8 out of 30.
Yeah, she's like you wouldn't get away with that in a pub game. Never mind a professional game. So
no, but like his averages of 88 as well. I mean, like 88 is a decent average for World Championship. It's not going to get you too far. But like, I mean, 2 or 3 good legs from Cian, and we know how high he can score, and that's gone into the 90s because the format is relatively short as well. I mean, Jeff Smith had a lower average, 85.
But he finished. I thought Smith finished very well.
35% on the double. Smith had 11 out of 31. Yeah. So that's, I mean, 8 out of 30 versus 11 versus 31. There's your difference straight away.
Yeah.
They both had two 180s, and Keane had 13 140 pluses and Jeff Smith at 14. So, I mean, the figures are there, they're close, but that percentage checkout, that's when it matters. Keane's going to be extremely disappointed with that 8 out of 30. He's going to be pissed off at himself. I'd say when he was walking off now, he was thinking he knew when he started to score, he was scoring well, but his doubles is really, really going to piss him off now. Which is good as well. I again don't think he's going to shrug it off and say, "Oh, it's only another year." I'll be more experienced next year. He's going to be pissed off over this.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I'll take that point on board. That's no problem. But for me, it's definitely he's got to look at certain aspects of his game and try and improve them going forward. Like I said, he will be on the full tour from next year onwards. So, it's time he's going to have to improve a fair bit, I think, in terms of his doubles. Like, his scoring is there. That's no problem. He's very capable of throwing in a good 100 average. We've seen that on the development tour and on the streaming boards this year. So I think just if he works on his doubles, I think he'll be fine.
I mean, that 60 there that he just threw from, like, trying to get down from 190. I mean, that last dart he threw, that's the kind of thing I'd say really annoyed him, because he's normally so good at grouping. We know that his darts land flat or slightly down. We know how he can group them. So when his darts are landing below the treble and he's not stacking them, I mean, that's a problem. That's a huge problem for him.
Yeah, his first dart nearly has to be right every time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I know, like, he's obviously going to be pissed off. Now, again, just for everybody listening, we're attempting just to play the video over as we talk. So we're just going to pick these couple of little examples of Keane. I mean, I thought he looked up for it. He was getting frustrated in himself. Jeff Smith is such a good grafter as well. I mean, he's been here. He knows this kind of situation. So anyway, Jeff Smith went on then, Darren, and got beaten by Dobey. We both thought that if Smith won, that he would beat Dobey.
Yeah, he started really well in that game. He went 2 up, and Dobey just woke up for whatever reason. And I'd say Smith was very, very disappointed going out of the tournament at that level. But I don't know. Chris Dobey, for me, like, now, if you were to replay that game, say another 10 times, I'd say Jeff Smith might have won it 7 or 8. But it's just Dobey. He's the most unreliable man, I think, in the PDC this year. You don't know what you're going to get with him whatsoever.
Yeah, it is true. I mean, absolutely. If you see Chris Dobey going into a game and he starts off really, really well, he's a bit like Joe Cullen in that as well, where there's a good chance like he'll stay at that level throughout. But if he starts getting frustrated, his darts are going to be all over.
And if you look at him, he looks bored. Like, if regardless of what way the game is going from, he gives away nothing. I'd say he's a good poker player. Yeah,
now you said it. Well, that was unfortunate for Keane Barry, but as Darren said, I suppose he'll put it down. He'll put it down to experience. Listen, he has a big year coming up ahead. He has the Pro Tour coming up, which is obviously going to be massive. He has good sponsorship behind him. He has good backing behind him. Again, he's so young. We're hoping he can go and get better. Now, it doesn't always work out like, oh, he's going to get better. He's like, it's not always incremental. So we'll see. Here's hoping.
Definitely. That's it. It's going to be very interesting to see if we'll check in again with him 6 months down the line, just to see how he's going or getting on with on the first couple of tournaments, or in the first couple of tournaments, I should say, and just see how he is adapting full time on the tour. That will be very interesting.
Yeah, now you said it. Okay, so next up we had Willie O'Connor. What did you make of Willie's performance in Zonneveld? Because you said last week that Willie wouldn't have it all his own way against Neil Zonneveld.
Yeah, I genuinely thought Zonneveld would have thrown better, considering what we've seen of him from earlier on this year. But I just don't know. He just didn't score well, and he just couldn't get himself going. And Willie kind of got comfortable, and then the score started to flow. Then he took out a couple of nice checkouts when he wanted to. But I don't know. Overall, I think if Willie would have wanted a harder game just to see if he could push himself a little bit more. Now, we ended up getting that against Gurney, but we'll come on to that in a couple of minutes. But overall, I was more disappointed in Zonneveld than I was impressed with O'Connor.
Yeah, an 83 average from Zonneveld. Willie threw an 88 average, but 28% on the doubles, 4 180s, 12 140 pluses. Again, he wasn't going to be happy coming out with that game either.
No.
So, but listen, he moved on then to the match that we wanted to see. I was mad for this game. put back work. That was working really hard as well last week. But no, I sat down. It was a good game, Darren.
Yeah, great game. Gurney started like a train. Was missing absolutely nothing. Was just full steam ahead. His scoring and his doubles were absolutely savage. Nobody, I think, in the world could have stayed with him for those first 2 sets. And then just O'Connor kind of just woke up then. Started scoring really heavily and took out a couple of nice checkouts as well. But just, I don't know. I think for me, Willie just has this mental block. Like, he knew, you could see him, if you watch the interview of after his win against Sonnefeld, you knew he was going to be up for it. But just when he just didn't turn up, he looked like a deer caught in the headlights for those first couple of sets. Now, I know, fair enough, and I'm repeating myself now, Gurney threw absolutely phenomenal darts, but just O'Connor just looked like he needed to be throwing 6 darts just to stay with him. I was fairly disappointed in him, but then like I said, he woke up then and took a couple of sets back, and then, but just then went to bits. Then couldn't find it, or his scoring went to bits, and he couldn't hit a double with a hedgehog. So I don't know. I think for me, he'll definitely be very, very, very disappointed overall.
Yeah, he was. I mean, as you said, nobody would have lived with Gurney in those opening couple of sets. I mean, I was looking at it, I was genuinely in shock because Gurney just hasn't had a year, and he was losing a lot of money. He was defending, and he was going to drop down the rankings, and nobody really knew what was going on. Like, I mean, you don't really, with a lot of tournaments cancelled as well this year, you can't really know what's going on with anybody. But geez, he came out of blocks and he was absolutely phenomenal. And like, I'm not going to say he looked so full. Oh, Whitlock won. I see him giving a thumbs up on TV, like 50-something inch TV right behind me, and I'm fucking looking at the camera.
That's my favourite player gone, so Labanauskas. Yay!
Darius Labanauskas, you don't have to pronounce his name anymore. But no, listen, Gurney threw like he did 3 years ago. Like he threw phenomenally well. His scoring was unreal. The big thing that I took out, but I kept saying it to you, and I said it to a couple of lads in the group as well. He's the best treble 18 hitter I've ever seen.
Yeah.
If he's 2 darts in his hand and he's on a 78 or a 94, that treble 18, it's going right in the middle, in between the 2 wires. He's phenomenal at hitting it. I'd love to know the stats to see did he actually miss. Rod Harrington's teeth are gone very white.
Are they?
They're as white as his hair. But yeah, he was just phenomenal at hitting that fucking treble 18 and then doubling it in, and that must have been sickening to see for Willie to stand back and see him going up on a high-ish checkout and knowing he's going to hit that first time. But his game did drop back. He finished Gurney finished up with a 99, just under 100, 99.19 average. He had 5 180s, 18 140s to Willie's 3 180s and 16 140s. And Willie, of course, had a 92.4 average. That's Willie coming back in the last couple of sets. But considering Gurney dropped off, as they say, like a 99 average, I mean, Gurney's going to fancy himself.
Solid darts. Yeah, definitely. Solid darts.
He's going to really fancy himself going forward because he knows he has the game. He knows he has the game, but now he knows he's actually shown it.
Yeah,
it was definitely. It was so, it was just seriously impressive. I'm going to attempt again to play a little bit of this last leg.
He has our favourite player go up next, Chris Dobie, anyway, in the next round. So
again, you don't know what Dobie's going to do. I don't even know if this video is going to play it properly or whatever's going on, but sure, we'll give it a go anyway. If not, I'll just chop it over later on or something. But it's worth trying to get the highlights in. So, Gurney started out the game, but no, what am I talking about? This wasn't exciting. This was Willie getting back into it. Sorry, these are the highlights. So, Willie, when he actually got back, he's shaking his head there, giving out like shite.
That drives me up the wall.
But he was going mad. Like, I mean, it was like he just had to just keep his head. There's your treble 18. I missed double 12 and gets the 6. This is the 6. But that treble 18 was a good example that actually showed it there. But Willie was shaking his head, feeling sorry for himself. It was just bollocks. Because when Gurney's game did drop a little bit, Willie pounced. And that just showed that he had the game in him. He wasn't doing much wrong. He really wasn't doing much wrong, but he's beating himself up. Now, I know some lads need to do that to drive themselves on. It might drive us mad. They couldn't give a shit for driving us mad. It doesn't, because that doesn't matter. Some people it does affect a lot. I'm pretty sure Gurney missed his 3 at double 3, made a bollocks and made a balls. That was for the match. So he missed match darts early in that to knock Willie out. But look at that. Putting he had the darts put away, feeling feckin' sorry for himself. And then comes back in.
if I was his management, I'd fucking hate him for that.
Yeah.
I
Comes
don't
back-
care.
Comes back in then, and even now he's probably thinking to himself, oh, jeez. Then it's like, oh, look, oh, hello. Jesus, I've won a set. Holy shitballs. It's 2-1. Gurney's behind me. Gurney, we know he's not
Yes,
going
Gurney
away
thinking
anywhere.
now, you see. Yeah.
He's Gurney thinking, but he's always suddenly O'Connor's kind of think, oh, if I can start off well, if I can maybe hit 2 trebles a visit, I might be too. But oh, be Jesus, there's a treble. Oh, be Jesus, there's another treble. Big God, lads, this game might not be too far gone considering my leg up already. And Gurney's game has slightly started to drop. So, geez, Willie O'Connor now is suddenly thinking, why did I put my fucking darts in my top pocket? Absolutely
But this is
stupid.
it, Gurney did the thing he's done all season. If you put any pressure on him at all, he starts to falter.
Yeah. And now
that's
suddenly he's
aggressive.
hitting 1-2-2.
That's
And now Gurney's like,
yeah, he's thinking now. He's
I could be in a
thinking
wee bit of butter here.
Yeah.
Could be in a bit of butter. I should have probably had a bit more sleep. He's coming up.
But imagine, you imagine if O'Connor sorry to talk over you, but you imagine if O'Connor started the game like that. There's a good chance he would have won.
Yeah, absolutely. But even if O'Connor did start like that, like you have to kind of think, if Gurney started the way he started and Willie started like this, like, you don't know what way it would have went. You generally don't. Would Gurney's game have dropped? Does that happen? I mean, Hybrechts and Ian White showed us that if one starts scoring highly, it doesn't necessarily mean the other guy's going to slightly drop off. It's going to mean sometimes that's going to match the game. O'Connor's coming in now, 11 double 16. Oh, it's going to be 2 sets all, double 8. Even that, Gurney's come back with 170. Bang, 2 sets all. 4 minutes ago, I put my darts in my top pocket. Holy shit.
Exactly.
I'm going to come back here and possibly win this. Like, I mean, there's such a chance. And to know in the next round, that you have Chris Dobie, I mean, that's a bit of an incentive in itself, isn't it?
Yeah, because like I said, Dobie's just so hot and cold, and you don't know what's going to turn up. It's
now, we slated Dobie the
on.
last time. We slated Dobie the last day on the call last week, and we said that Jeff's made a beam, and he did a job on him. So,
No, in fairness, it took
maybe
him
not.
a while to get going, but he did end up winning that game fairly easily in the end.
Yeah. So, all right, we don't need to see Gurney winning this because we know how it finished.
Exactly.
So listen, Willie going into next year, he had a good year. So there goes my listen. I'll cut this.
Delivery.
I'll be able to chop it
Yeah,
later.
delivery.
Delivery outside. Hang on.
Willie. Jesus.
On a call. Oh, I didn't know you were working. Oh, jeez, yeah. I decided to take a quick call for the afternoon. Anyway, so then Kieran Tehan. I was really looking forward to seeing Kieran playing. Again, he's had a bit of an off year, considering he really burst onto the scene last year. I mean, people in Ireland were seeing this name popping up, winning tournament after tournament, and then suddenly they saw the big 6 foot, whatever he is, 6'26" Cork man coming onto the scene. Now, he was on the world stage last year, as we know, so this is his second appearance as well. He had an off year. I think he had an injury. I think I remember Jerry putting it up on his on his Facebook page that he had an injury around the middle of the year, which obviously wouldn't have helped. I could be wrong there, which kind of taken out the top of my head. So anyway, Kieran was going in against Wayne Jones. We all grew up watching darts and watching Wayne Jones. Was he Woody, wasn't he? He doesn't go by Woody anymore.
No,
Wasn't
I don't think so.
Was he not Woody? He was Woody, wasn't he? I think he was Woody or the Woodpecker or something. Maybe that wasn't his nickname. Maybe just because he.
No, I thought he went by the Wanderer anyway. That's just because he's from Wolverhampton, isn't he?
I think you're right though. He's another man that will be disappointed. I think he threw an 86 average. He threw 3 180s, I think, 12 140s. But the stat there is not only that Wayne Jones only scored 2 180s. Wayne Jones scored 17 140 pluses.
Yeah.
That's a big tell because Jones had 36% on the doubles, and Kieran had 30% on the doubles. So Jones was making it easier for himself with that 140 scoring and getting down to that double. To give himself a bit of breathing room. Look at that, the way his darts are landing, you'd set your watch to it. Same for the last 30 years.
Absolutely perfect, yeah.
Like, see that wayward dart from Kieran now, like he'd be kicking himself over that, because with that first dart just above the treble, he'd be hoping the next two would be just dropping in, and normally they would.
Oh yes, it's great. It's a perfect lie for the way he throws. It's the perfect lie to be putting it two more, at least two, or sorry, at least one, I should say, into the treble bit there, the way it sits up. So yeah, I'd say he's definitely going to be disappointed. Bad end to the year for him, but like I said, hopefully he can find a few positives overall, and hopefully just kick on into next year.
Yeah, again, he is good back in there as well with Jerry, and I mean, he had like he'll fly him around, he'll get him over to all these events. He has another year on his tour card, so I mean, he'll have plenty of opportunities as long as he stays fit. Here's a nice tidy 140 coming in as well. See that last start, the way he sped up to throw it in, like the way to throw it in, because he just likes that flow. So what do you think about Kieran for next year?
Yeah, it's like I said, just repeating what you said there. He's got a great team behind him, and Jerry and the lads. So I think he'll definitely kick on. It's going to be interesting. Like I said, he'll be another one I'd want to check in on. Give him the first couple of tournaments just to see how he goes, and just let him get settled in and get playing. Obviously, get his game in order, and I think he'll definitely move up the rankings for me.
He's going to have to. I mean, the way I look at it is, if he plays tournaments, he moves up.
Yeah,
I know that sounds simple, but Kieran's the kind of lad that if he's playing consistently, he's a week in, week out, and that's if these feckin' tournaments go ahead next year. You know, we don't know what's coming.
Go on, sorry.
No, I was saying, you just don't know what's coming next year. I mean, we don't even know if the floor is going to start in February. You know, he had a good tail end of last year on this home tour. He was playing Damon Heta, he was playing Simon Whitlock, he was beating these lads, Michael Smith. He was playing them. I know that home tour is a lot different, but their matches against the top lads that he needs, and he was bringing that form in. So we just have to see what way the tournaments line up. But Jerry will get him to all those tournaments if he stays fit and healthy. And the only way is up, I think, after the last year. So
that's to say, I'd like to see him qualify for a few more of the European tour events, because they're good money, and they'll definitely help him move up the rankings.
Now you said it. Right. Then Stevie Lennon. What did you make of Stevie?
Absolutely phenomenal performance. And considering, I'd say he would have been nervous overall going in. Like I said, his record last couple of years hasn't been great, but like to throw a 96 average and finish the way he did, and with the possible 9 and just missing on the 9 is, I don't think you can really ask for much more. Like
no.
Throwing the guts of a 97 average against someone as tricky as Larson, because like I said, you just don't know what you're going to get there as well.
Yeah.
I just think I was really, really happy for him and delighted with the way he threw, and I think he's got a great chance against Pearson in the next round.
Yeah, so do I. And one thing I love to see, now obviously, I mean, anybody that knows Steve loves Steve Lennon. He's such a nice lad, but you could see how much it meant to him up on the stage. He was a little bit, now not when I say animated, he wasn't jumping around the place, but he was really, there was a lot of fist pumping, there was a lot of kind of getting into it. He could feel it. He knew he was throwing well. He was confident. He was in control, and you could just kind of sense it by him that he was loving it. And then even at the end, then you could tell. Now, that was probably as excited as Steve was going to get in his interview afterwards. But you could tell by his face, he was beaming. He was loving life. I was loving life.
Oh, yeah, he was delighted. He was delighted with the way he threw. And like I said, there's definitely there'll be bigger games for him in the tournament. And I genuinely think he will beat Pearson tonight. I'll go out and say that now. He definitely has the game to match him. So just fingers crossed.
Danny Baggish just won the first set against Lewis, 3 legs to 0. That's not a surprise. Baggish is a serious thrower. He has a San Francisco 49ers tattoo on his arm.
Is he? Right.
Yeah, fucking Egypt. Anyway, no, getting back to Steve, it was he threw so well. But it was the confidence. He just needed a game like this, didn't he? He needed on the big stage. He needed it so much, and I was just delighted for him. So happy for him. Again, we're going to try play the clip.
Yep. like Larson is steady without being spectacular. If you get me, like he's not a bad thrower in terms of coming off the Scandinavian tour. So to start well and play as well as Steve did, I'd say he was absolutely delighted.
Yeah, and it was a good matchup for Steve. I mean, he could have. I know, like Steve is 47th now, where it slipped slightly down the rankings, but Steve will have his eye, especially by winning this and getting that extra bit of prize money. He has his eye now and getting back up towards that, because he was a whisker away from that top 32 a couple of years ago. It just didn't go his way over the last probably 18 months. But this was a good draw for him. He could have got somebody that he could have. Like, I mean, he would have been confident beating Larson. Larson's a good thrower. He's a steady thrower. He's a solid thrower. He owns 2 supermarkets. He has everything going for him. He's a good thrower. But I'd say Steve was confident going to this game. Now, whether he's confident in his own head that he knew he was going to throw a 96 average, I don't know. But if he can get in around Pearson, I mean, Pearson is top 5 in all 180 charts this year.
Yeah,
he's thrown phenomenal. I love him.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he scores. Pearson does score very well, but I think if Steve gets at him from the go, he definitely has a massive chance. All
depends on how Steve starts, doesn't it?
Yeah. It does, yeah. The start. I know it's still relatively short format, or the best of 5, but if he starts well, I think he's got a massive chance.
Yeah, if you're up on stage, then you're off the stage because they have that stupid break after the first set. If suddenly then you're off the stage and like, what the hell just happened there? But if he goes off, and even if he does lose the first set, 3-2 or whatever, but he gets in, he kind of makes sure get into Peterson's head, say, I'm here, I'm hitting my doubles, I'm hitting a decent percentage of doubles. I don't actually know what his percentage was. No, I checked out 130. I don't know what his checkout percentage was. But at the same time, just watching this now, hopefully you can all see it as well. I'm just watching. That was a nice solid checkout as well, especially after that dart went just above it. Those are the kind of real confidence builders. There's that fist pump now. Look, you can tell by him there, he's loving it. He is loving this now.
He's definitely enjoying himself up there already.
He wanted nothing more than get back up onto that hockey. And here we're going to see these unreal darts. Now he's confident now. He knows himself. He says he's probably not even thinking about the 9 darter at this stage. He's probably thinking to himself, I am flying. I am absolutely flying. I'm going to wrap up this game. He's concentrating fully. Now, saying that, as soon as this baby goes in,
yeah.
Maybe hang on now.
As me. You were thinking.
Hang on now. Because I don't know what I was doing. I was doing something on the couch. I was drinking a can of Coke or something. I said, hang on now till we sit down here for a second. And you just want this lad to get out of the way, will you? There's something more important now than you hitting fucking 50%.
Because Steve is in such a rhythm now where he's screaming at the board now. Just go in.
Yeah. Boo. Oh. But at the same time, obviously he's going to be disappointed. But he has the head to set himself up. He still leaves himself on double 18. A lot of people, when they miss that 9, and especially with their opponent so far away from them, they'll just fuck away the last 2 darts. They'll just say,
and the majority end up hitting like a 44 or something like that,
Steve never blinked. He set himself up really well. He's bouncing back up to the board there. He doesn't give a shit about that 9 darter. He's just getting up, delighted that he's after hitting that. I'm saying that. And I say he doesn't give a shit about a 9 darter.
Was it 52 grand for a 9 darter?
Is it 52? Is it? Jeez.
Yeah, I think it's 52 grand. Yeah.
Fucking hell. But I'd saying that even when I was watching this now, I was thinking to myself, right, 2 legs up, 2 sets up. Even if he loses this leg, he can just, he'll just stay with it. I mean, Larson getting that set, I think that focused him a lot as well. You see a lot of lads this week going 2 sets to 0 up and losing focus. Or going,
they fall asleep. There's some. Yeah. It's after happening at least 3 or 4 players this week. They go 2-0 up and they just fall asleep.
That didn't happen, Stephen. That set went. It went a bit differently. Just obviously, Steve he missed a couple of shots out, but Larson threw well. But at the same time, that probably wasn't the worst thing in the world. If he went in, and he won 3-0, and he had no pressure on him. He'd be going into the Peterson game without a challenge. Whereas this lad, with Larson actually, got him thinking. Just said, right, there's still a set left. This lad is only 1 set behind me. I have to do the job. I went in and actually did it. So
it just reminds Steve that he has gears as well. Do you know what I mean? So he can definitely raise his game a bit if he needs to.
Yeah, no, you said it. The way he kind of reaches for these darts is horrendous to watch, isn't it? Now everybody has different throws. There's some mad throws. has Stephen now on 161. So again, to tidy it up, Lovely's third dart to tidy that up again has the wherewithal to get up. Nojaman's on 105. So yeah, just a really good performance. Absolutely so happy for him. You know, a lot of say Irish dart tours or dart tours you like when they win, you're like, that was a good win, good to get over the hurdle. I'm just happy for Steve and Tony and everybody down there in Carlow. Because they all needed that. We needed to see Steve do well on the big stage and hopefully kick on.
That's it, exactly.
Get in there.
That's
Look at that.
it.
Look at the relief.
Relief, yeah.
The absolute I'd say his chest just burst open. He was just so relieved to get that done. Absolutely delighted for him. Look at that. Look at
That's
that.
the thing, though. He won't underestimate Peterson either, which I think, you know, a lot of people might do otherwise, but no, he knows exactly that he's got a game ahead of him tonight.
Yeah, how he said it. So yeah, Darren, there's one more thing I'm going to chat to you about. Now that we spoke about all the Irish lads and everything that was interesting. We spoke about the fake crowd noise.
Oh, you know exactly how I feel about this. This drives me up the wall. I have absolutely no idea. It's as bad now. I know, just to go back to the football, playing it at the football. For me, I know that's just for people at home that they can't actually hear it in the stadium. But the players can actually hear this when they're standing on the hockey throwing darts, which for me makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. It's absolutely pointless.
So my opinion on it is, if you have the noise of a crowd of about 4,000 in the background, the odd song, the odd shout, but to actually time the chants, after is fucking crazy. And after they made a balls of it at the beginning, we're going to look at it now in the Ryan Sear Dan Lobby match. Why it wasn't immediately right that this doesn't work. I mean, it was a mistake by the guy controlling it. But even if it is on the correct dart, if he throws a third dart and he goes, he's trying to think to himself, shut up, like, you know, I know I missed it. I don't need this.
Like, at the end of the day, these boys are up there trying to earn a living. Do you know what I mean?
No, you said it. I'll try to play this, Darren, and we'll have a look at it anyway. Hopefully the sound will come through anyway, just to give everybody a taste of it, because I don't think you saw it either, Darren.
No.
Yeah.
It's an unknown quantity. You know, we haven't seen so much of him.
It's everything. The way he's just got on about his business. It's just been brilliant. Double 19.
77.
So this
Well, he's had a dart to send us into a decider. Is Ryan Searle going to hit a single 20? Is he going to hit tops to wrap it up? The answer is no. Dan Lorby wants 38 to take us all the way. Double 14. Well, he hit it earlier in the piece, didn't he, to win the second set.
Those automated cameras, I know
he couldn't hit it there. It's all about this moment. Double 5 again.
Right, now here we go.
18.
Now listen now.
So,
Danny require 28.
8 darts at a double for the match.
Yeah, look. Physics clearly throws him.
Completely throws him.
21.
Completely throws him. And like you've seen him,
Ryan required 2.
but you could see during that game, he's a rhythm thrower.
Really feel for Dan.
Very much in that. That just completely.
What's the reaction of Ryan
He's been beaten
He's
by Ryan Searle, who
annoyed.
was on his A game, averaging 98. But Dan Lorby has played an absolute belter there on debut.
Absolutely.
He will be back, and he's going for his
Just absolute bullshit. Like, if he hits that double, it's it's down to a last leg decider.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer. I mean, like, it obviously rattled him, but he's obviously a cool enough kind of personality, because imagine there's a lot of dart players would have went, this is bullshit. Like, they would have lost the plot as soon as Ryan Searle hit that double one. Lobby shook his hand and gave him a hug, fair enough. But he would have lost the plot. Anybody, normal person would have lost a rag with it. Darren,
I genuinely don't see why they use it. Look, for me, you want the tension and you want each player you want them going at each other. But for me, the silence would be better for that. No noise would be better for that, because then you could feel the tension in every dart for me. So I have absolutely no idea why they use a crowd night, and they just need to get rid of it now. With complete waste of time.
I agree. I would still like a background noise there to add some kind of atmosphere, but not tailored to the shots on the board. Adrian Lewis, one leg all, still one set down. Darren, we're not going to. Oh, I missed it. We're not going to do our predictions for two reasons. First of all, we're up to 35 minutes, and secondly, because we're fairly shite at the old predictions.
Steve Beaton says hello.
Jesus Christ! So what was it? Steve Beaton's B game, his C game. You said Steve Beaton's C game beats Portela. Yeah. But listen, Portela pulled out a cracker.
I was delighted for him. I was absolutely delighted for him. Yeah.
A brilliant performance, in fairness. So we're not going to do any predictions. We're going to hit the road now because, again, it's 35 minutes in and we've probably lost most of our viewers. When I say viewers, again, we had 40-something views. Now, Kevin Leahy, however they say it down in
Kilkenny. Kevin, fair play to you.
Kevin commented on it. He said, well done, lads, and he shared it on his Facebook page. And that was the only share that we got. Not that we really wanted it anyway. Now, we had a few people like Kevin Devaney was as nice as Kevin always is anyway. And then you had, of course, likes of Neil McDonald, smart arse whore.
Some things will never change, eh?
Congratulations, David, on becoming a daddy, by the way.
That's right, David Cunningham. Yeah, congratulations, lad.
Congratulations. Fergal Shields slips. Going to get Fergal in here. Get the Fergal in. Get him on. How are the boys?
You'll have to stick up a disclaimer now when we get Fergal on, definitely.
Fergal is going here. Fergal's square is going in between himself and Darren. How the boys? His beard now looks like something that's carrying the rest of them.
He does. He looks like Jeff Bridges out of the first Ironman, doesn't he?
Oh, you said it. Can't wait to talk to him again. Love Fergal. Of course, myself and Fergal. World University Darts Championship doubles champions.
Many moons ago.
And there's other lads there as well, like Barbie and a few of these lads as well. I'm sure would love to get on. Does a podcast of his own.
That's right.
Good listen
to if you want to get around to it.
Yeah. So lads, if you want to get on, I know you probably wouldn't. You probably wouldn't see the attraction saying, "Hey lads, I'd like to go on there," but we might approach a few. Probably we haven't mentioned a lot, and it'd be great to get somebody on as well. Maybe after championships, like you never know, like Steve or somebody like that.
You never know.
But anyway, lads, if you are still listening, thanks very much. Again, we just wanted to rattle through the Irish games. We had a couple of other topics that we were going to, like we do have our favourite matches of the championship so far. We'll do it next time. We just don't want these to go on too long because, what as Cunningham said last week, that's 30 minutes of my life I'll never get back.
I'll never get back again.
Well, I hope this is 37 minutes of your life you never get back. Yeah, Malik. Right. Over and out,
thanks,
Darren.
Thanks as always, Tommy.
Thanks again, Darren. Fair play. And everybody, a very happy Christmas.
Yeah, have a good one, folks. Stay safe.